Let me try this again. Let me know if it's working right now. Carl R is here. Let's test it like this. Carl R is here. Can't hear you very well. Waldo says audio's off. I cannot be heard. Okay, so sounds like water running. I hope now it's better. Please let me know if it works right now. There was a Bluetooth device connected, and Mark D says it's good right now. Okay, so unfortunately that happened, but let's try this. Let me just quickly know if you could still understand what I said. Otherwise, I'm going to repeat it a little bit. And thank you for making me aware within a minute or so, because the stream is a little bit delayed, so that's unfortunately happening. So I would just go over it once more. So obviously we are briefly covering the US government shutdown that is about to come in a couple of hours. But we are mainly going to talk about Ethereum Futures ETFs, what it means for the crypto market, for the altcoin market. We are going to talk about whale action in... One second here. We are going to talk about whale action that is in the sphere of Chainlink, an altcoin that is very worth noting in my opinion. And obviously we are going to go over the Veve and Funko partnership that has happened just right now. So let me jump into it. A little bit thrown off here by the audio problems, but I hope everything is very well right now. I'm going to move a little bit closer to the microphone maybe also. And yeah, so I think it should be good now. Okay, so let's start here. Just one sec. So I'll skip the intro even. Just one thing. When you are already here, Carl and Waldo and Mark, thank you all for being here. Smash up the like button right now to get us here. Yeah, Veve, Funko, Marvel, loving it. We're going into that one after all the crypto stuff for sure. If you enjoy this type of streams and even the weekend streams, I know not everyone can join on the weekends, especially in the morning, but since I have been traveling, I had to get out here and do the live stream. So you smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, tap the little bell to always get notified when I go online. And with that out of the way, we are going to get started. And by the way, if you want to support this channel on a monthly basis, like everyone that is minted here on my wall, on my background, then you can become a channel member here and support me on that in that way. But a free, completely free like does the deal. So 8 people already in here. Make sure to smash up the like button, and we are just jumping into the topics. So the first one that I want to go into obviously is that Van Eck is readying an Ethereum Futures ETF, and this is a big deal, and I will explain why this is a big deal. But first of all, let's see here what the news really is. So VanEck, the 77.8 billion asset under management firm, is preparing to roll out its Ethereum Futures exchange traded fund as the race for Ether Futures fund heats up. So the fund, called VanEck Ethereum Strategy ETF, will invest in standardized cash-settled ETH futures contracts traded on commodity exchanges registered with the CFTC, so the trading commission for such ETFs, right? The futures ETFs are not spot ETFs, so the futures ETFs are not ETFs that are investing directly into the asset itself, but rather trades futures contracts. This already exists for Bitcoin, and the interesting factor here is that it basically readied a Bitcoin spot ETF. And now the Bitcoin spot ETF is being pushed out by the SEC, but I think we can all, up to this point, since they have delayed it for the second or third time already, we are looking at the dates in a second, but since they have delayed the Bitcoin ETFs so much, without denying them and without really criticizing anything, and even approving a leverage traded Bitcoin futures ETF, we can all agree that the Bitcoin ETF is coming sooner or later, and latestly in January 2024. That we have an Ethereum ETF now should get everyone absolutely ready and hyped for altcoins, right? So that this is happening should basically tell us that probably somewhere in the future, hopefully in the midst of an altcoin season, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF would be approved, like on a spot basis. So if we have the Bitcoin futures ETF was a big deal in the last bull run. Now we are getting this bull run, very likely, more likely than not, the Bitcoin ETF. Now, if we have the Ethereum futures ETF right now, maybe in 2 years we will have an Ethereum spot ETF. And if that ball is rolling, that means that there could be altcoin spot ETFs also, right? So looking very much in the future here, but I think this is way bigger news than has really been taken, but it was enough to turn the entire market, especially certain altcoins, into absolute pump range, right? So Mr. Planet Profit is here. Hey, what is going on? So the out of the regular weekend stream. I hope you guys enjoy your coffee. Sorry for the little sound problems in the beginning, but here we go. So now this one is a little bit older, but it has the dates for the Bitcoin ETF, not for the Ethereum, but for the Bitcoin ETF. And it is interesting because it was basically said that the ETFs shall be approved all at the same time. So technically and latestly, as we can see here, we have the final deadline for ARK Invest on the 10th of January in 2024. Now, all of the others are technically could be delayed until the 15th and the 19th of March. But if you approve one, that means that all of the others are coming as well. So, but if you deny the ARK Invest one at the 10th of January, all of the others fall as well. So the decision time is really this one, not the March. The decision time is this one. So we can see here that the September ones have all been delayed, and the October ones basically, the October ones are going to be all delayed as well. And ARK Invest is basically front running it. So the only dates that really matter are the ones that are written here. And now we had the first deadline, the first and second deadline. We have another one on the 11th of November. of 23 for ARK Invest, and then basically we know that it is make or break in January. So that is happening. Now, let's quickly talk about this one here. This is a little bit too big. So we have the US, so the government shutdown only hours away in the US could cause some volatility. It's nothing to, so this happened already a couple of times in the past. It's nothing to go crazy about, but I think we should be aware that once we are headed into October with this could cause some volatility in the markets. So let's see what it is all about just quickly. So the US government is on the brink of another shutdown, with Congress poised to miss a Saturday midnight deadline to fund the federal agencies. So the fourth shutdown to occur over the past decade. So in the past decade, this is already the fourth one. It could significantly affect everything from air travel to national parks and marriage licenses. So not, besides air travel, not really the carriers of the broader markets, right? Most government employees will be furloughed without pay, and crucial nutrition programs will be halted. It follows a hard-right revolt in the US House of Representatives. Republicans control the House by a slim majority, while Democrats hold the Senate by a single seat. So you see, basically, the government is blocking itself at the moment, right? And this could halt certain crucial parts of the US in the process, but it's nothing like, it is bad, especially for US citizens, but it's nothing that will put the world economy in such a big turmoil. I think missing to raise the debt ceiling would have been way worse than this one here. But this is probably going to happen, and as you can see, it is happening for the fourth time in history. Nonetheless, this could be the vehicle for market makers to ride a wave down, or to manipulate the market at some point when this news breaks. So be aware of that if you are in any trades or stuff like that. But with all of that basically out of the way, I quickly want to go in some Bitcoin bullishness, why it is so important to have our focus on it right now. And there's a super good thread from Stock Money Lizards here that is basically worth going through, in my opinion. So 10 reasons why Bitcoin will go into bull mode at the end of this cycle, as it has done in the past. So we see here, obviously, all of our peaks. Peak one with $1,300, then $19,000, and our last peak at around $68,000. And the estimate for the next cycle peak, according to Stock Money Lizards, is $150,000 to $200,000. So that would be, even if you had bought the peak, you would more than double in their worst case scenario. So let's see what it's all about. So we have the hodl waves here. So the total supply held by long-term investors has surged to a new all-time high with nearly 15 million Bitcoin. As more long-term investors hold onto the Bitcoin, the available supply on the market diminishes, driving prices higher. It is that simple, according to them. So we see it here, the 10-year holders in purple, and then 7 to 10 years below that, and so on. So all these factions, they are all growing, and they are diminishing or collapsing all in the bull market, except the 6 to 12 month holders, obviously, that are buying at the bull market. That's usually how people get into crypto and how they are buying, right? So yeah, that is a reason. Then the next factor is obviously the halving in itself. The halving event undeniably exerts upward pressure on the price. Halving takes place every 4 years, diminishing the supply for new Bitcoin. So another scarcity factor, besides the long-term holders that are I think the long-term holders are at 13 of million or something, or the whales are sitting at 13 million of all of the Bitcoin. But you see it here from from the 500 something days of accumulation. After that, there is 500 and something days of massive bull run after the halving, right? So that is where we headed to. We have some 200 days, I think, left until the halving, a little bit less. So it's coming. It's going to be bigger. Yeah, then we see here also the total miner revenue from block rewards. Obviously, here we see the scarcity break better than in any other chart. And we see that the next step in 200 days, this next step down is coming. And if you see how much, so this is basically how much revenue you get in terms of Bitcoin from mining operation. And with every halving, this drops, and at every drop you have a parabolic run up, right? So drop, parabolic run up, drop, parabolic run up, drop, parabolic run up. So this is very important to note, obviously, here while analyzing Bitcoin. I think one of the most important things here to consider is crypto adoption. I think this is something that Cathie Wood from ARK Invest also discussed, is that you are in crypto in an early adoption phase. So you have this S curve, right, in adoption, the yellow line, and at the same time you have AI and S adoption curve where you are in the innovator stage, right? And both are, according to Cathie Wood, intertwined. So we are in the early adopter phase somewhere in the beginning, because we are not even at the 13.5% probably. So we are still in this phase, in this diffusion phase of innovators. So it's not a matter of if, but when we'll see mass adoption beyond just a store of value for Bitcoin, right? X or Twitter, alongside Amazon and PayPal and many more, is poised for the crypto wave. So all of them we have been seeing moving into crypto. We have seen X filing for money transmitter licenses, for getting payments ready. We have been seeing Amazon dealing with crypto payments with NFTs. We have seen PayPal issuing a stable coin. So all of that is showing you that crypto adoption of the masses is only in the beginning, because the giants of the industry are just getting the infrastructure ready, while the asset managers are getting, like BlackRock, Fidelity, WisdomTree, ARK Invest, Valkyrie, VanEck, and so on. They are all getting ready just now to provide the masses with assets. So we are really in the early stages there with crypto adoption, which is my main point here to go into some other news. You can read the full thread here from Stock Money Lizards on their page, but I think that's the most important thing. What I wanted to discuss is this one, because it really is important for NFTs, for the gaming sphere, and mainly also for crypto. So leaked documents reveal Microsoft's plans to bring crypto wallets to Xbox. The leaked documents have been described as the largest in Xbox history. Now, so we see here the leaked internal documents posted on the gaming forum Reset Era show that the Xbox roadmap for May 2022 included crypto wallet support. However, specifics about this planned integration were not shown. And then the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, attributed the leak to the Federal Trade Commission legal action against Microsoft. The FTC's opposition to the $69 million Activision Blizzard acquisition resulted in Microsoft unintentionally including leaked documents within their submission. So in this process, this crypto wallet filing was leaked. And so the crypto community obviously excited about this leak. Maybe the gaming community not so much yet. they still need to be on board. But this is big because it's just another, it just shows how crypto is slowly but surely becoming part of everyday life and everyday payment. If you enjoyed this going over the news, then please smash up the like button for me here. And yeah, I'm going into some more data here. This one is very interesting in my opinion. So what we are looking at here is Bitcoins, sharks, and whales. So the ones with 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin, everyone above 10 Bitcoin, have now accumulated to the highest amount held in 2023. These are the guys that made tremendous amount of money in the last run. These are the guys that know in which direction things are going. So 13.03 million Bitcoin accumulated is held by people with over 10 Bitcoin. Additionally, tether sharks and whales are accumulating buying power. So they are really following the strategy of having dry powder at the side and accumulating tons of Bitcoin. This is generally a bullish combination. So we see it here. Buying power is going up and price is going up, with Bitcoin leaving the exchanges. So before we go into the next altcoin, just a quick one here for the altcoin market as a reminder. You need to know this. So BlockFi has been going down in flames in the last crypto bear market, right? We remember this. So they have achieved a court confirmation to exit bankruptcy and start winding down the business. Their plan is as follows. Recovery, attempt to recover assets the company believes are owed by FTX, Three Arrow Capital, and other estates. Continue distributing digital assets back to clients. So if you have been suffering from a loss there, then stay tuned to maybe recovering assets. Continue the claims process to ensure that clients get the correct amount of assets back and the erroneous claim amounts are expunged. So stay tuned to all of these exchanges. You could still get some of the lost assets from the last bear market back. It takes a time. We have seen it from the Mt. Gox collapse that has been a longer time ago, that these things have been happening. So let's move on to the altcoin market and look at what's happening in this market. And I really want to go into a specific altcoin today with you before we move on to Ecomi and Veve and all the other stuff. And that one is Chainlink. So if we look at the month, Chainlink is up 36%. And I want to go a little bit over why this is happening and why it's not too late to get into Chainlink. And this is not an investment advice or something. It's not about that you have to do this, but is why I have been buying some Chainlink. Okay, so first of all, Chainlink whales have purchased over 7.5 million Link in the last 2 weeks, worth around 53 million. That is a big accumulation. We see it here in this chart, the accumulation volume, the price action, and the big question, what is that? That is several whales. The reason why is this here. This is news from June. We have been covering it here quickly on the channel. Swift explores blockchain interoperability to remove friction from tokenized asset settlement. So they have been Swift, and Swift is known as like payment provider. Many banks are operating on Swift, and this is from the official Swift.com site, right? We're collaborating with the Swift community globally to test how institutions can use their Swift connection to seamlessly interoperate with the multitude of blockchain networks emerging around the world. And they have been including Chainlink here, right? So I don't know exactly yeah, there it is. Chainlink, a leading Web3 service platform, will provide connectivity across public and private blockchains for these experiments. So they have been successfully testing with Chainlink, and that is what made people and whales especially bullish on Chainlink. So, and me too, right? This is a very strong narrative for an altcoin, have really providing and having mass adoption, going into another altcoin bull market. So in my opinion, very big deal. So let's look at the chart also. This is the Chainlink chart. So we are significantly down from the bull run peak. So Chainlink has peaked without those news, because this came into the bear market, and right now we are still down 84% from where Chainlink has peaked, right? So, and now look at this. This is an absolute massive accumulation phase. So the whales have been stacking here Chainlink over the entire bear market. So Chainlink has been like they have been stacking, and now it's like up 37% as we've seen, right? But it's going to the upper range. This doesn't mean that we have a breakout now. So what I could do is I wait for another pullback that could be coming to then get into Chainlink here, right? So if we look a little bit from like this is obviously good for DCAing, right? But if we look at this, I mean, this range has been perfectly holding and been played by the whales, right? And at some point this will break to the upside, in my opinion. Obviously, if it goes to the downside, then this is the train to wrecked city, right? But it more likely than not looks like we're knocking a lot on this for Chainlink, and at some point there must be, if the breakout comes here, I mean, you could take somewhat of a measured move, put this here, say if we have a breakout here, we are going to $12 to $13, right? So I am bullish on Chainlink. I don't know what about you. Do your own research on this project before you ape into such stuff. I mean, we have been up quite a bit. We are probably going a little bit more to test this upper trend line, then maybe a pullback. The breakout could come at any time, obviously, but it's not altcoin season, and the other factors have to line up for this. Do me a favor. If you like, let me know in the chat right now, in the comments, if you like looking in the Crypto Morning Coffee stream from time to time at some altcoin projects like this, like some analysis from where it's coming from, what is happening right now with the whales, and some what's going on here, if it's worth or not worth getting a position into that. Obviously, this is not like a 100x altcoin banger, right? But let's say this one pumps back to all-time highs. It's like, I mean, back to all-time high. Let's just say it goes back to all-time high, right? From here, it would still be 5x, right? 500% move, 550% move. This is not something where you want to have the absolute rocket back in, but it could be an interesting position, right, for some people to 5x. And let's say it does a pullback and it comes down to the moving averages. It would be a 7x to go to all-time highs, right? That would be at $50. I mean, it's not too shabby. And it's a solid project with a strong, big use case, with a big community, with altcoin accumulation going on by whales. So, in my opinion, it's worth looking at Chainlink. And if you want, we can include this to look at it if there's something happening. To look at it from time to time. Hey, Anand One Kenobi, what is going on, my man? My fellow channel member. I hope you're doing well, having a nice weekend here. So, let's look at the dollar quickly. Also, before we are continuing here. So, we have been observing this for the better part of the last, I don't know how long this is already going on. The dollar is on a steady rise, and the dollar has just bullishly retested here with this candle on this upper head resistance. There's another thing that, I mean, you see this red trend line, right? We've been bullishly breaking out on this trend line. So we do not see this dollar collapsing, right? And traditionally this has been bad for stock markets. Bitcoin is a little bit decoupled right now, as it is still rallying, or not rallying, but it shows a bullish pattern with all that is going on with the dollar. But once the dollar collapses here, we are going to have a big rally. Yeah. Anand says, I think 2021 was perfect for crypto, with everyone and their dog buying crypto while locked away due to COVID. Yes, that is one side of the story, and it's very true. And not only that, they have been getting stimuli checks to throw into crypto. So they have been sitting at home, they have been working less, they had more time to go into crypto, and they have been throwing free money from the government that has been printed into crypto. Right now it's the opposite. Right now they are paying on their credits with higher interest, and nonetheless, I think there is two sides to this, right? So, for example, you see we had money printer going on, we had stimuli checks, but on the other side, we also had many people getting wrecked by the crisis. You cannot forget that besides the normal employee, the people that were building a company, or that were opening restaurants, that were opening coffee shops, that were opening stuff like that, they got completely wrecked by lockdowns, right? So not everyone was just benefiting. Like, I mean, you're right that there was a bigger part of the community just throwing stimmy checks into the crypto market, and then the whales absorbed all of that liquidity by selling into this massive pump. So not 100% that many tokens will even hit prior all-time highs, says Anand. That is never guaranteed, and we saw this already with XRP, that XRP was basically, hindered there to go to new all-time highs. So it's not guaranteed that this is happening. That is very true. Probably coins that have been born in the bear market or in the end of the last bull market could they obviously will have new all-time highs, but it's certainly not guaranteed. On the other hand, we have to see that an Bitcoin ETF is such a strong catalyst. I think it's the strongest catalyst that we ever had, that is playing together with probably quantitative easing coming back in the midst of the next bull run, right? So this could be making up for everything in that sense. However, you need to see profits from Bitcoin flowing into the altcoin. So yes, you are right. It remains to be seen how the economic situation plays out in the beginning of the next year and into the halving, and how much money printer and stimuli to the economy and to people we will be seeing. So you are absolutely right there to say, okay, maybe we get we do not get the all-time highs back that we had, but that also means that we need to adjust our strategy while doing that. For example, if we say we are going into some Chainlink, that means that if we are passing, I don't know, for example, you could say that we are passing like half of the target at 25, from 8 to 25, we're just taking out our initial investment at least plus some profits to then ride this thing up and taking out 10% along the way if we estimate that this is happening, right? So this could be one strategy. I want to quickly show, Machin Kura is here, by the way. Good morning, everyone. Good to have you here. Good to see you here. 15 people here in the stream following the daily Bitcoin and crypto action. Smash up the like button, you guys, to get more people in here for the discussion. So thank you, Anand, to get this discussion rolling. I think you have a very valid point here, and I think everyone needs to define. I think it's valid, and I will do the same, to sit down right now and to just do some rules that you will stick to each altcoin that you're holding. for example, you're holding Chainlink, Arweave, VeChain, that's stuff that I'm holding, then I will have a certain price point at which I will definitely, no matter how bullish I am, take out my initial investment. And then I will have a rule that if it pumps from there another 30%, I take out 10%. And if it pumps from there another, I don't know what percent, I will take out another 10%. So it's like DCA out of that altcoin in the profit zones, right? So all of that depends on Bitcoin. And we have the Bitcoin chart here full of lines, I know, but let's look at this a little bit. Blaze says, damn, I'm late, GM all. You're not late, you're just coming to the right time to discuss a little bit of where Bitcoin could be going. So some people are drawing this trend line at the candle wicks, and this would mean that it's not broken yet. And I have drawn it into the candle bodies, right? So this is a trend line that we have been looking at for at least 2 weeks, I think. It's definitely we have been looking at in the last two streams, right? So, and now we have broken it. So since the last stream we have broken it, we see it clearly with some big price action. And what I want to highlight here, it coincides with this 50 moving average, right? Where we had the infamous death cross. So this moving average is really moving alongside our trend line, and Bitcoin has perfectly retested there. So look at this. I mean, we have been breaking it, and then we have retested here on this trend line. So this could be a breakout, and what we have to see is today is the 30th of September. Usually October is up October, right? So September has been traditionally bad, and we have said it before, and it has been confirmed, we're down on September, right? Now, up October could mean price action to the upside, unless we get some bad news. We've said it in the beginning of the stream that the government shutdown could hinder some price action in all of the markets, right? But let's look at this perfect retest here a little bit in the 4 hour. You know that I'm not a fan of the 4 hour, but I mean, if you see this here, I mean, we have this break happened within 4 to 8 hours, and then a retest, and now we are, the retest does not hit perfectly here. It's a 4 hour. I mean, you can adjust the line a little bit to the upside, and you will have your perfect hit. But no matter what, that's a retest in my books. That retest played out, and we will see how we are going from there. Now, for the upside, we said it before that we are running out of room here with this resistance, upper and lower side resistance. What we do not want to see now is that we collapse back into this and then fall down, right? We do not want to see that. And we have to still assume that if you draw a line in here, or if you draw a line like this, you still have the break to the upside, right? So even if you take the candle wicks, I think you should see an upside here, right? So there we go. I think this is on the, are we on the log now? Is this the logarithmic? Let me just check quickly. Now this would be the logarithmic, so the same picture poses for the logarithmic chart as well for Bitcoin. Guys, I think in my books this is bullish for the next month or so. But let's see how it's happening, how it's all playing out. So Bitcoin, very bullish. Hey guys, 20 people are here in the morning stream. Smash up the like button. We have some really good stuff still to go over for the NFT space. Let's just see how the NASDAQ is looking like. The NASDAQ has actually recovered. The reason why we are looking at the NASDAQ, and it's just a quick one here, is just that the Nasdaq is in a downtrend, and usually Bitcoin has somewhat of a correlation with the Nasdaq. So we are really seeing, so we lost this mega uptrend, we have a downtrend, and now we are looking somewhat at how are we forming more of a falling channel here? How is the economy looking? This is why we from time to time see the Nasdaq. We have said it before, if we lose this level, we could see ourselves coming down to this moving average that is upsloping here. So we could have some more blood in the next months before we really go into the next bull cycle. Anan says over 75% are long right now on Bitcoin. Usually when this happens, market makers dump it and grab their liquidity. That's true. I'd guess mid-October dump for BTC. Yeah, that could be a good target. Maybe we even rally before. Maybe we even rally up before. But what we have to see is, even if we rally from here, we have some major overhead resistance here, right? So we have this moving average, 200-week moving average, or 200 moving average here as overhead resistance for Bitcoin. And we have obviously the delay of the catalyst. So it's not out of the books that there will be another dump for Bitcoin, which is why I left this target in here. However, we have to see one thing. There are a lot of bears and naysayers that are basically saying, hey, look, we expect a Bitcoin dump to 10,000 or 12,000. I'm not on that side anymore. Or what does it mean anymore? I mean, for me, and I've marked it a long time ago, since I think in January or something, we have said it. This was the Bitcoin bottom. We're out. So yeah, in my opinion, we are not going below this. We could come back down to 20,000 or so, but that's it for me. I think lower we will not go anymore. I don't think so. So if we collapse there, obviously that would be a buy signal or a buying time for me. Yeah. Okay. With regards to time, let's look at Ecomi, because in the beginning of the week we have said that Ecomi is looking strong. The Ecomi token is looking strong, and it continues to look strong in my opinion. So the formation that we are having here, as I outlined before, is absolutely strong. If we can hold this and just come up something like that, or even sharper, this would be massive. This would be absolutely massive. And Veve is laying the groundwork for that right now, also with their partnerships, and I hope they can follow up, they can continue on that. What's the value in the blue target? Oh, sorry about that. The value in the blue target, 22,432, was the target of, I think but I have to go out of the logarithmic, I think that was if we, no, it bugged out here. I think that was if we crash from the head and shoulders here, somewhat. No, actually it was a more conservative. I think where did we take this from? I think we took it from. Yeah, I think we took it from like a conservative approach of. Yeah, of a conservative approach of the head and shoulders here, saying like we are not taking this breakout and rather take something like in the middle of this price action. That's where I got it from. The reason is I'm not trading, so I'm not trading to find a very specific target where I am like going short to or something like that. I'm just estimating where price action might go once we break a specific resistance. Obviously you could say, hey, look, the neckline for this is here, so you could go here and then you would have yourself a 21,800 target or something like that. You could also say that for the head and shoulders, this is the upper point, so you like this pump and dump there. You could go like this, and then you go to this, and you have yourself 19,000, right? So I don't know. I don't know about that one, because, and the other reason is you have a very noisy area around here, right? So there's a lot of volatility. So let me know if you agree with me there, Anand. But yeah, for me that is where I see this going to here, in the worst case, in my opinion. We will see if this is correct or not. For Ecomi, the value was the retracement that we have put in here. So you see, we have hit it and then overshot it a little bit, but overall that is in here. We can delete this now, I think, because enough of the I was right. But what we see here for Ecomi, in my opinion, why doesn't it load, is absolutely bullish. And there, I also have taken a price target on this one. By the way, the wedge is from the wedge. You can ignore the wedge because it's from the logarithmic chart. So if you go into the log chart, the wedge makes sense, right? But here not. So you have, if this plays out, and this only plays out if we continue bullish, like you have something like this forming for Ecomi, or even this, right, cup and handle, something like that, and this breaks to the upside, I think that would be mega bullish, and then we would come to test this range here, right? So where these highs, these bear market highs are, something like that, in my opinion. So we will see how it plays out, but the fact that we are holding this level and that we are significantly above the bear market accumulation zone, the bear market base, lets me be more bullish. And I think for me that means to do some more DCA into Ecomi, and to accumulate a little bit more OMI. But I'm really bullish on that. I have my 3.1 million of Ecomi. Yo, Blaze, thank you for the $7.99 Australian dollars. OMI to the moon. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, let's go. Let's send OMI to the moon. Yeah, Anand says, yes, I'm shorting to 22,600, and if I make it profits OMI, Veracity, VET, ADA, or Quant, not sure yet. Good thing about OMI is good news can double or triple it very quickly. Yeah, I mean, OMI is a... I said it before, and probably I'm going to repeat myself too much, but as to support what Blaze just posted here with the OMI to the moon, right? I mean, the big thing with OMI is that OMI does not have any of the catalysts in place. So, for example, if you look at VeChain is listed on almost all of the exchanges, and I'm very bullish on VeChain, but I think it will not have the same X returns than OMI if OMI, like if the team delivers on OMI, right? So, for example, you have with VeChain, you have all the big exchanges. With ADA, you have all the big exchanges. With Veracity, I think you do not have a Binance listing, so I would more lean to the side of Veracity. Has a very big community, has a lot of people shilling it, so in my opinion, it's not wrong for me to have a smaller Veracity position also. I do have some Veracity, not much, but a little bit. And I'm not in Quant, so I cannot comment on Quant too much. But I heard it's a good project and so on. But for OMI, I mean, you have Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, all these big exchanges in front of you, massive liquidity. I think OMI should have, when it rolled out their features, it should have a multi-billion-dollar market cap, right? So if you consider that in the last bull run, projects in the top 50 all had like above 1 to 4 billion market cap, I think Ecomi should easily be in the top 50 and at least have a 5 to 10. Yeah, let's stay conservative and say Omi should have a $5 billion market cap when it is listed on those exchanges and when it succeeded to deliver all of those milestones, right? And part of those milestones is things like this. This is absolutely beautiful. This is absolutely massive. David Yu says, our collaboration with both Funko and Marvel allows Veve to transcend digital barriers by offering a physical counterpart to our highly coveted digital collectibles. I'm very excited with this collaboration, and what a photo here, right? So this is absolutely, this is big, right? This is big, this is massive in my opinion. There is no doubt about it. And the fact that these companies are working with Veve and that this is happening in the bear market, and the way that Veve is selling their collectibles, like they are selling out comics, they are selling out collectibles, they are even selling out designer stuff and so on. They are going on conventions. Marvel is all in, balls deep with Veve, right? Absolutely bullish. Now the other side of that is, how does this benefit the token? Obviously, the token, if the token is integrated, we said this before. I have been heavily, for all of you who don't know it and who do not have seen the last video, I've been heavily criticizing Veve when they did not do anything about the token for such a long time, because they were focusing on the backbone Veve, right? Now, what have they done? You can now transfer your OMI token into the Veve app. This is the first of many ties that links the token to all of those brands. What does that mean for the token? In the future, with the Master Collector program, with OMI to NFT and stuff like that coming out, if it comes out, and I am bullish, so I say it will come out, I am bullish on that, OMI will be linked to Marvel directly, to Disney, to Funko. And if you say, okay, you go back to the altcoin market and you just look at altcoins, right? And you say, okay, you have an altcoin that is not on exchanges yet, but you know it's going to be tied to Disney, Marvel, Funko, USPS, Lamborghini, Coca-Cola, and so on, right? NFTs that are used in that is a metaverse play. You should be at least considering to do some deeper analysis into that project. Let's put it in those words, to not put financial advice out, but you should be considering those factors, right? So as Anand said here before, I think that is very, very big, very bullish. Let's see a little bit more of this stuff. Obviously I had to include this into the stuff that I wanted to show you, because right now New York is apparently underwater, right? I hope this gets solved before they are all going to New York Comic Con. I mean, there's literally water going in the streets, right? So look at that. Yeah, I mean, so Veve is going to New York Comic Con. Everyone in New York, I hope you are safe. I hope this is nothing that in any way affected you or damaged you. I really hope that for you. This is really bad, and I hope this does not kill Comic-Con in the first place, right? So yeah, a very bad thing here. Maybe into the Funko a little bit more, and let's look at the Veve article first. So Funko and Veve team up to showcase new physical and digital collectibles featuring Marvel Iron Man. That is what we're getting, or what is being released. It's big in my opinion. And I think it will sell out for because there's so many like collectors on that side, and it will also has the capacity to bring in new collectors into Veve, which we will see in a second is needed. But let's look at what we are seeing. Funko, the leading pop culture lifestyle brand, and Veve, the largest digital collectibles platform, have announced a new collaboration with Marvel that merges the realms of physical and digital collecting. We have talked a lot about how digital is going to revolutionize the market, and Veve is positioning themselves into this into this realm of digital as a provider, right? And this is very good. October 18th 2023, the collection features Marvel's Iron Man as a towering 18 inch comic inspired Funko Gold physical figure with a matching digital collectible figure available on the Veve platform, included in every purchase. So everyone who purchases this physical one will be able to redeem the Marvel or the digital figure on Veve. So the first Marvel figure will be limited to 3,000 pieces each, $150. The collection features multiple color variants that celebrate 60 years of the character's rich comic book history. Now, I don't know if there's 3,000 of each, or if there is color variants and 3,000 total. This is interesting, but that means that it's way more scarce if you want to have all of them, right? So interesting. Fans will have the opportunity to purchase individually stickered blind boxes, which include a code to redeem a free digital collectible NFT inspired by the physical collectible accessible through Veve. Now, 3,000 times $150 is not too bad, right? Now, here says that the chief operating officer there from Funko, right? Our approach to collectibles is centered on creating new ways for fans to show off their most treasured IPs. Being able to be part of Marvel's celebration of Iron Man through this collaboration with Veve is the perfect way to show Funko's commitment to collectability and ability to bring fandoms to fans in all forms. Now, this is obviously big, right? And what has me a little bit frustrated, not with Veve or Funko or anyone, is the news coverage. Because, I mean, there's Pop Insider, Build Your Dream Marvel Collection, and so on. So they have been covering this, and this is the variants, by the way, apparently, that are in this. We see here the variants, how it all looks. They have been covering this, right? Pop Insider. But if you put in Veve Funko in Google, you see like 2 to 3 articles, but the big ones are not even talking about it. And that is NFTs, digitals. Maybe they are talking about it when they come out, not on the announcement. But I mean, you should be at least like, we need Veve to send this upfront to like Cointelegraph and CoinDesk and what is that? These NFT sites here, right? The daily NFT news, right? We need Veve and these announcements to be on the news. I hope it's going to be covered by a little bit bigger channels also, right? If this stuff is launching, and hopefully by collecting channels like Funko collectors. So now let's look a little bit at Veve here, at upcoming drops, and what is going on. So there's a lot going on. Obviously, we have this Miguel drop that is coming. I think, is it already Day of the Dead celebration or something like that? I think that's coming up right now. That's where we had the Day of the Dead stamps in the past years and so on. Some people are building some vaults around this. We had this is an interesting topic. We had the Hulk airdrop, and people are just flooring the hell out of the Hulks. And for me, I'm really thinking about now just buying all of the Hulks because they are so cheap. Because people are just like, they buy all of them to get the airdrop, and then the airdrop is like sitting at 80. You could have just waited and buy everything afterwards, right? And that is where I think in the future stuff will really level out, and where people that are only in for a quick profit and not for the long haul are going to get shaken out, because they cannot buy for an airdrop, get the airdrop, and then floor everything. They will not make profits anymore. So this is happening. Then this year dropped already. So because I've been traveling, I've not been online to cover this, but as far as I have seen it, you get specific invitation to NY Comic Con party if you are owning this stuff. And there have been, I think the gold logo holders have been also invited, something like that. So apparently you get something from that. They've been reposting this. Veve has been starting to do pre-drop spaces apparently, or drop spaces, which is very interesting as well, in my opinion, very bullish. There is another one of one. I'm really thinking about, I really want at some point one of these artist proof things. But you need $1,500 to do it. So probably when crypto profits are rolling in, maybe I can snag one of these one of ones, if it's not too late already. But then again, everyone will have money and outbid themselves there on these. What's interesting is I've no clue, no idea for how much they are really selling at the moment. Maybe someone of you knows it, but or if you can just go with a somewhat like 1,500 and win some of these, or if whales are accumulating all of these, I don't know. So I'm really curious what is going on NYC Comic Con, if there's something special like being announced. I mean, this year is not an announcement. This is just like a drop announcement. I believe we did not have, but it will come in soon. Usually it comes in a week before, so we will have a lot of drops, I think, announced for New York Comic Con also. And remember that at the last event there was secret drops, so we should be very alert for secret drops coming in during New York Comic Con, as we've seen 2 of them being launched at the last Comic Con at San Diego, I think. So be very alert for this to come in. Also, make sure to tell other people in groups when you see it, or tell your friends when you see it to take them on board. Because these secret drops usually are a very safe way to turn some 699 into over 100 gems. Also, what usually makes sense is when this initial pump of the secret drop comes in, to potentially sell off that comic, if it's a comic. We don't know, maybe they will drop something else this time, but the secret drop does very well in the beginning, and then after a while it comes down significantly in price. We have seen that before with the Avengers 52 comic, for example, that I think was running up to as much as 200 gems or 300 gems, and now it's sitting at 40. I bought it for 35 gems. So yeah, you could accumulate a lot from one of them. So that just to keep in the back of your mind. Then also we had a maintenance window for payout, which was not a big deal. It was just a couple of hours payout down, but you saw some people fudding about payout at that point in time. So yeah, we are really, I think we are out of big announcements here for drops at the moment. We have this one here coming up. By the way, the animations are pretty good in my opinion. Seems like that stuff is getting better and better and better at Veve. So we also do not see people like complaining about animations anymore, right? So what do you guys think? Have I missed something? Are you going for some drops? What do we need to buy? What do we need to buy? We have been talking about this a little bit already. So user growth is not existent at the moment. you don't see it. Now you see it. Look at this. So user growth is not existent at the moment, but I think with NYCC we could see some user growth there, right? So we are flatlining since mid-September, basically at the same level. But that's okay. I think that's healthy also. So yeah. Crazy Dan says, thanks PH, good point to remember about the secret drops at NYCC. Yeah, sure. I should be probably I will mention it at every stream so that we really get ourselves into position, and probably I will be the one in the end that will forget about it, look at the app, and then like, oh no, I forgot it, I don't remember it. So yeah. Let's quickly look at whale action as we always do. Let's look at whale action in the market. So daily net accumulation is very low at the moment. It's at 582. Bezosman has been buying. I've seen it yesterday. Bezosman is going to 30,000. The other whales are slower accumulation. Some of the whales here in the sub 10k range, sub 10 place range are accumulating or rebalancing. We see this here, and we have a big one here at place 35. We have a big one with 712 accumulating. So that is a big move in my opinion. Mark D says, Ron English speaking about Delusionville as a world in the Veveverse is pretty interesting. So yeah, the artists are going to build their stuff in the Veveverse as well. So that is good because then you get all the communities into the Veveverse, right? So let's quickly look at, obviously right now we only have one big whale to look at, but maybe in the future we can also look at what these guys are buying, right? But at the moment we're looking at Bezosman. So Bezosman is buying just now. It's like in the beginning of the stream he has been buying. So like a Journey into Mystery and Marvel comic and Black Panther comics and Storm and Ultraman 7. He's buying Ultramans right now. Buying Ultramans, buying Tarzan comics somehow. Superman versus the Flash. What is this? Oh, yeah, that's the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, buying something, buying the new set. Buying stuff that has no metadata. Unfortunately, I hope Veve completes the metadata at some point that we really can see everything. But yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I think guys, for today that's it. I hope you enjoyed going over all of this stuff. Always remember, when others are fearful, when others are going really down the route to FUD and to sell off their bags and so on, that's when we see whales accumulating, like the Bezosman guy here, or like number 35 down there. That is, yeah, I mean, you have secret rares sitting at 20 gems, you have commons at 150, you have collectibles that were once hundreds of gems sitting at 15 gems. So that could be is the time where I am looking for the one or the other deal at the Veve market, but also not forgetting about altcoins. But with that out of the way, I just want to make this announcement for everyone that is still here. First of all, smash up the like button if you enjoyed the stream on your way out. Secondly, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and tick the little bell to get notified whenever I start another live stream. And very important to note, in the beginning of the next week, so the first days of October, it will still be a little bit unregular. So until the 4th of October, something like that. And then we'll be back with daily live streams, with videos, with the whole shebang, with the whole stuff. and we are going to have guests on the channel. There are a lot of guests that are lined up, and we're headed together in the bullish phase. So don't please forgive me for not being online the last 2 weeks so frequently, but this is all going to change in the next week. By the end of next week, we are going to go online and have a good time together and enjoy our morning coffees together. That will be amazing. Mark D says Bezosman is really smashing the bargain bin. He's just crushing everything. Yeah, and you have to see, this is not going to be the only one that is doing that. There will be a lot more. So yeah. With that said, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I see you in the next